All right, well, thanks for being here. Good win. I thought it was pretty solid in all three phases. I just thought we came out ready to play, and we got off to a great start defensively with the turnover, offensively with the two explosive plays early. I thought we played well up front on both sides of the football. They never really got their run game established, and we could spread out a little bit with their spread formations. And when you can do that against a spread team and hold up in the run game, it's going to allow you to have success. So we did a good job defensively on third downs. Offensively, we converted third downs. And again, we did not turn the ball over, which is always huge. So we're, again, proud of our guys. I think, 3 weeks in a row we've showed up ready to play, and we had a good week of practice, and it translated to Saturday, and we just have to continue to do that.
Dave, when a penalty takes points off the board and then you score on the very next play to put the points back on, how important is that just from a...
It was big because I think it's one of those things psychologically, you feel like those are the 7 points you gave away. Those plays a lot of times have a tendency to really come back and bite you and end up costing you games. And it was almost like, hey, we got that off our shoulder. That we can't be saying the whole game, boy, the reason we're in this position is because of that play. You come out the first play, you score, it kind of negated the penalty.
Coach, can you speak to John Wolfer's leadership ability? He's kind of a guy that came in at a time when you needed a quarterback. He played his freshman year, and then here he is in his senior year now, and he's still the starting quarterback, the guy that's providing all that, probably underestimated as a runner. Lots of things you can talk about him, I'm sure. Yeah,
this narrative has been played over and over. John was put in a very difficult situation. People are saying how he's improved. I think he has improved, but I think more importantly, we've improved around him. That when you play quarterback and you're not playing from your back, and you have some guys on the perimeter that you can throw the ball quickly to and they can make plays, it makes playing the position a little bit easier. So, John's a great leader. He's persevered a lot. He's never, ever pointed fingers or made excuses when we didn't play well. And it's really neat to see kind of now at the end of this cycle, him come out of it. When you go through that, it either makes you or breaks you. And with him, it didn't break him. So I'm proud of him.
What was the biggest factor in the defense not letting them get their running game going?
I just thought we played really well up front. There's a lot of very good defensive lines in this conference, and I think we're one of them. When you put that group out there of, Ejiofor, Dunn, Yarberry, and Rodney, that's a pretty good starting four. And at all those positions, we can go 8 deep. And when we sub, we don't drop off a lot. So same as a lot of positions. We've been young, we're older, those kids are stronger, they know how to play. They've played a lot of football, and they just continue to get better. So Dave Cohen, our defensive line coach, has done a heck of a job developing those kids. He really has. That he's got them playing at a high level, and he's a good coach.
And Coach, 3 years ago, negative 25 yards rushing. Today, 275 something. It's in final numbers. Does that speak to the metamorphosis and the growth of your program and your offense over the last 3 years?
Again, we just, metamorphoses and those things. We're better, Les. When we went to Utah State a few years ago, you certainly feel like, hey, we've made progress. This is the same team that 3 years ago we were in Utah, and they can totally control the line of scrimmage on both sides, and they dominated the whole line, and they had more explosive plays than us. And we've made progress. We've gotten better, but we don't feel like we've arrived, and we're not satisfied. And I just got to make sure that we still have a hungry football team, because we've got a lot of great challenges ahead. And it starts next week, going to App and playing them. They're a really good football team.
Coach, when your defense is, shutting down on third down, and does that give confidence to your offense, especially today, the way they were playing with the defensive line? here and help each other?
I think it's one of those things that they feed off of each other. You know, that when the defense or the offense don't feel like they have to be perfect, it's a positive. And you know, I think and I've said this for the people who have covered it. This I certainly felt going into this season, this was the most balanced team we had. I thought this was an offense that would be capable of scoring 40 points to win a game, and a defense that at times would be capable of holding people down. And so it makes everything, even in our practices, more competitive. When we go Wake Forest against Wake Forest in practice, that's more competitive football. For 3 years, the defense would have their way, and quite frankly, there was more talent on the defensive side of the ball. And I said that from the get-go. I think the talent levels on both sides, this is as balanced as we've been, and I think so far that has showed in how we've played. You know, this I mean, we didn't put up 40 points against FCS teams for a couple of years there, and you know, so again, you know, a lot of football left to play. Let's see what happens, but you know, you can only we're 3 into it, and we're doing as well as we can.
What kind of boost did Arkeem Bird get his first drive? I think he had 5 carries for 29 yards, then he broke the long one.
Well, I've been saying it all year, like everyone, geez, he's going to be more explosive, going to be more explosive. And I said, yeah, we've got more explosive playmakers. And who? Well, Tabari, Greg, Arkeem, and those guys all made explosive plays today. You know, Greg, the very first play. You know, Arkeem, the 59 or 51-yard run or whatever it was. And then you saw Tabari in the second half get deep a couple of times. And, you know, so we have a skill level that's improved and gotten better. And now we just got to keep doing it. But yes, I just always was like, if Arkeem can just stay healthy, this can really give us a speed back that we haven't had. And Cade Carney and Matt Colburn are really, really good backs. And Arkeem's a little different. There's a little different gear there. And it's just neat to see him healthy so that you guys can see what I've been talking about. I've been saying it for 2 years, that if we can ever keep him healthy, we could have something really special. And, you know, that's, you know, we just got to, he's only a freshman.
In regards to Arkeem, was there like kind of a method on the way you kind of eased him into the season, and as far as he's progressively gotten more and more chances, more opportunities? Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to keep 3 backs going, but we want to keep them all going because we know we're going to need all 3 of them. You know, and just last week, the way that game played out, you know, we just kind of felt like we needed a pounder, you know, make those 3rd and 1s. And today, with all the blitzing that Utah State was doing, and we were running a lot more outside runs today. I don't know if you noticed that, but there was a lot more perimeter runs, and Arkeem has really good vision. And he had some good runs, and I think he even missed a few cuts that we're going to go back and watch the film and said if he had pressed the edge a little more, we could even had more out there. So, you know, this was, you know, some games might be Cade games, some games might be Matt Colburn games, and today was an Arkeem day.
A couple of years ago, I remember you saying that, you know, that first explosive play that you get, that you'd be, you know, jumping up and down the sideline. Have you kind of felt like you've had that experience now a few times? Well,
I just feel that we're capable of it. You know, we start getting looks. You know, we spend time in practice preparing for looks, and there's certain looks that give you opportunities for explosives, and we're finally, for the first time in 4 years, able to actually get the explosives. You know, a lot of the plays we're running, we've been running for 3-4 years. You know, it's just now some of those guys catching them on the other end and some of the guys protecting up front have improved. I mean, we've been playing with basically the same offensive line for 3-4 years.
Coach, did you see anything early on in the middle of the field? You had the 2 big pass plays. One was a slant route, one was a seam route. Was there something you saw in the middle of the field? It's just,
you know, those are plays we run, and if the middle of the field opens, there's an option to go there. And in both times, John read the coverage, and you know, the one time was an RPO that the one safety pulled down, which opened up the field, and he had Greg on it. And the other time, it was just a vertical combination that it was split safeties, and we got Cam down the middle. You know, so those are base plays we run, and center field's open. you know, we'll try to get it down there. If it's closed, there's another place to go with the football. After those 2 plays, they didn't keep it open very much after that. They played a lot more, you know, high safety defense.
You had, I guess, first time in 6 years you had a receiver and a running back go over 100 yards. I mean, can you talk about the balance that you're getting right now out of your team?
Yeah, I mean, we feel we can run it and throw it, and we're doing both effectively. And that's good. Teams have balance, and you know, we're getting there. We're getting there, and a lot of it just has to do with the improvement up front. You know, and that's the group that I really need to give a lot of credit for, because those guys took a lot of criticism here, and you know, they were young. You know, you're playing offensive line in the ACC as a freshman. That's hard. And the same with those guys that, you know, they didn't have early success. They were criticized, but it just didn't break them. They kept working, and now we got some pretty good players up front. We now have offensive linemen, I think, in our program that other guys would like to have. And these guys, I think, could play at a lot of places in our league, and we're glad they're here. And 3 years ago, they weren't ready to play, but we had nobody else. So this is their 3rd year starting. And we've got a very experienced O-line, and they've seen everything. And then today, you know, Phil Haynes was down in the second half. He had a little cramp in his calf. And, you know, Nate Gillum goes in there, and we didn't miss a beat.
Anything else for Coach? Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. Thanks for being here, guys.